Welcome to the Crooked P. We are at, well, what's left of the Grandview Cemetery. We come to visit the only tombstone left. Now this land was bought in 1881 for the cemetery, but old John here, John McQuestion, he died in 1880, so he was actually here before this was made into a cemetery. I don't know if you guys can see or read, it's kind of worn off and stuff, but yeah, this was the cemetery, but then land was bought over, I don't know if you can see those trees way over there, but the cemetery was moved over there. It turned into the St. Eloi Church Cemetery. Now John, he was left here all by himself because supposedly he was not Catholic. So everybody else that would have been out here, I am assuming, were Catholic. Now the question that I come up with is, did they move everybody or did they just move the tombstones? Are there people still laying out here with John? That would be fun one day to come out and see if we can get some ground penetrating radar or what have you and see what was all left behind out here. John, he has kind of an interesting history. He was actually born in, what was it, 1796 out in New Hampshire, and then he moved on out here to Minnesota. He was more of a prospector. He was always on the go. In 1964 or 1864, he was out in Wisconsin, and that's why he has a Civil War tombstone. He was with the 41st Wisconsin Infantry in 1864, and he was what they call 100-day troop. They enlisted for 100 days. They were trying to push the end of the war, so they were getting a bunch of troops. He was out in Nashville, basically on picket duty, guard duty, train watch. But he did at one time go up against General Nathaniel Bedford Forrest, who's from the South. If you know anything about the South, he was kind of an important guy out there. Trying to think, there was 81 people in the unit, and 18 people died in the year that they served, and none of them died because of casualties. They all died of diseases. So, I mean, it's not funny, it is not, but it's just, you know, in the Civil War, a lot more people died of diseases than they actually did of combat. So this is where old John was buried. And I think the reason he was buried out here is just right over here, about a mile, is the town of Ghent. Actually, the town was Grandview, and then they changed the name one more time, and then somehow they came up with Ghent. I believe there's a sister city out in Ghent, Belgium. It's the roly-poly capital of the world over there. It's a town of 200-300 people. But one of John's sons, Orlando, was the original founder, one of the original founders of Ghent. He had the first residence, old sod house, because all the supplies and stuff was going to the east about 5 miles down the road to Marshall. They were building the railroad. You can't see it now because it's back behind the fields and stuff here. But anyway, his son Orlando was the first person to live in Ghent, and his daughter, Lily, I believe, I'm not quite sure on that, was the first child born in Ghent. John also had another son, Jack, and he was a prospector also. He was out in Montana, I believe, and then somehow, some way, he ended up out in Alaska. And as this works, there was an author, shoot, now I can't think of his name, but he wrote Call of the Wild. This was, it was based off Jack McQuestion's kind of life out in Alaska. He had a house out there. There's a McQuestion town, there's a McQuestion river, and geez, Jack, I can't think of the author's name right now. I have to look that up again. But anyway, so John here, he had a bunch of sons. He had about 4 or 5 of them. But 2 of them, Orlando, stayed here locally in Minnesota and started the town of Ghent. And then his other son, Jack, I'm trying to think, Whiskey Jack was named after Jack McQuestion. So that's story of the cemetery that used to be. But they left one person, poor old John McQuestion. And I guess the only reason he's still here is he was not Catholic. So now we just left John McQuestion's little cemetery. Now this is the St. Eloy Cemetery. This is where they moved everybody else. Right here. So this is St. Eloy's, the local Catholic church over in Ghent, right down the road there. I don't know if you can see the tower, the steeple of the Catholic church. I can see it, but if John McQuestion would have been Catholic, so the story goes, this is where he would have been buried, along with everybody else that was moved. So now we know why there's a lonely white tombstone sitting in a field all by itself. And the nice thing about where John is buried, during the celebrations, Memorial Day and stuff, they do mow. I mean, it does get mowed by a local family. The father used to do it. And then when he got too old, the son came over, and the son keeps it up. It didn't look mowed right there, but it will be. It is well kept up. And Foreign Legion or what have you, Memorial Day and stuff like that, they do put an American flag on his tomb. So it's not like John's forgotten. That is very well taken care of over there. But he lies by himself, and this is where everybody else lies.
As we come into town, we will be taking a right turn on to McQuestion Street. Ghent was originally called Grandview, and under the latter name was platted in 1878. A post office was established, because everyone knows that a town lives and dies with its post office, as Grandview in 1874, and renamed Ghent in 1882, and is still in operation to this day. Also in operation in Ghent is KB's Bar and Grill. They serve some of the best pizza in southwest Minnesota. The population was 376 at the 2020 census. Coming into view on your right is the St. Eloy Catholic Church. Because of the action of this church, a man lies in eternal peace all by himself. In 1880, John passed away at the age of 84.